so here's the answer to the example problem dealing with body image and gender. So, of the respondents who felt that their body weight was about right, what proportion were female? So here it says, of the respondents who felt their body weight was about right. And so I know you can't quite see the two-way table on my screen, but what you want to do is look at, what is that total number of people? How many people said they felt their body image was about right? Well, that total was 855. So that's representing our total group of people we're looking at. We're saying, out of those 855 people that say their body image is about right, what proportion were female? And so that is going to give us the numerator of this fraction. So how many are female out of that category? 560. So we take 560 divided by 855, and we get the proportion of 0.655. You might be wondering, can I round that to 0.7 or 0.66? That's fine. Not a big deal. It's close enough. Small rounding pieces, not going to be an issue in stats class. Next one, of the female respondents, what percent felt that their body weight was about right? Notice they flipped the question around on us. Now it says, of the female respondents, so our new total or a new group of people that we're looking at is all the females. It's saying out of all the females, how many meet this characteristic? Well, if we have 760 females, out of that, what percent felt that their body weight was just about right? So out of that, 560 females, out of the total of 760 said they felt their body image was just right. That gives you a decimal of 0.737, or a percentage of 73.7%. Okay, and you're like, oh, why'd you write a percent? It said percent. Honestly, if this was an AP exam and you gave a proportion and it was an FRQ question, you're not going to have any issues with getting marked down. If it's multiple choice, well, you know your answer is supposed to be percentage or proportion based upon how your answer options look. So just as a heads up there. Part C, the mosaic plot displays the distribution of perceived body image by gender. Describe what this graph reveals about the association between these two variables for the 1,200 college students in this sample. The big piece here is it's saying describe what this graph reveals about the association between the two. It's not saying that there's a cause and effect. We'll get into when we're allowed to use that language later on. So if you use cause and effect, know that you should not be using cause and effect. There's only special circumstances when we're allowed to use that language. Instead, it's talking about the association. So I'm going to throw up my keyed version here versus writing it all out on the board, because that will save us a little bit of time in terms of me writing it out. Now I know on my keyed version you cannot see the colors on the graph very well, so I apologize for that. But let's go through and look at what I wrote down, and if this is kind of hard to read, then you might want to pull up the keyed version of my notes, if that's easier for you to read than this screen here. But I say, based on the mosaic plot, there is an association between perceived body image and gender. Males are about 4 times as likely as female to perceive that they are underweight. So I'm just looking at comparing the pieces of the segmented bar graph here. That's all I'm doing. And notice how I use language such as about. I'm not trapping myself into it being exactly 4 times, and I forgot a T there, but I'm using the word about, meaning it's approximate, it's kind of ish, leaving me some gray area there, which we do that in stats a lot. Males are also less likely to perceive they are overweight. However, the overwhelming majority of both genders perceive that their body weight is about right. So notice how I compare them. I use a lot of comparative language. One is larger than the other or smaller than the other, or they're both very large or they're both very small. So when you're comparing association between two variables, you're going to want to make sure that you're not just giving information about one variable separately, such as talking about just the males and then just the females. You should be comparing the two. All right, and that is all I have here.